most active time of the year for real estate is on the horizon. However, not every home that is put up for sale gets that sold sign.
Bryan Buhr, a real estate agent at Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Premier Properties, is here to talk about what the difference is between successful listings and unsuccessful ones. So welcome back to the show. Great to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, I mean, how likely is it your house is going to sell if it gets listed?
So roughly what we would say is there's a 70% success rate in our area. About 71% Fargo-Moorhead, 68% in Lakes area. Now, you're probably thinking that's not a very good number. And it's not, but there's a few things that happen that really mess with those stats. So say we have one oddball property. A lot of the properties that don't sell, they don't sell again and again and again. So say we have just one property and it doesn't sell 3 times. Well, now as a group, we basically need to go 7 for 7 on the houses around it just to show a 70% success rate, even though we did sell 7 out of 8 properties. The other things to keep in mind, less expensive properties, more likely to sell just because there's more people that can buy them. You know, more expensive properties, those buyers have a lot of options. You know, if I have a $700,000 house, I can maybe buy it, or I could maybe build for $700,000, or maybe I'll just keep my $500,000 house and buy a lake cabin. So especially in those high ranges, you really need to price and present your property perfectly.
It's interesting, the percentages and the averages. Well, what's the number one thing you can do to find success in selling your house?
Yeah, and it's really simple. I mean, the number one thing you can do is attract a buyer. And so really you just got to think about that and work your way backwards. And we have this graph here that shows how much activity is on your house as it hits the market. The thing is, the best buyer for you probably is pre-qualified. It's probably looking online daily or having a real estate agent look for them. They likely have a search set up. Hey, I want this area, this many bedrooms, this price range. So knowing that they have a search like that set up, when you list your property, you need everything perfect. Because the second I hit that button to make it live, there might be 20, 30 people getting an email saying, oh, new listing that fits my criteria. Let's go look at it if it looks right. If it doesn't look right, then it's going to sit there.
What's the biggest reason a house doesn't sell?
Yeah, so as we mentioned, not getting a buyer. So there's kind of 2 things. Presentation or price. So when people get those notifications of a new listing that fits their criteria, if the presentation isn't good, you know, say there's poor photos, people aren't going to want to look at it. Personally, I always use a professional photographer on any listing just because that's a huge deal. And then the other thing is price. If someone can find a better property for the same price, that's the one they're going to go to.
So when you're talking about some of those homes that just over and over don't sell, that sounds really scary if you're the one with that house.
It is, and it's scary to list them too, because it's tough because there's no secrets anymore. If something is listed and it doesn't sell, people know that no matter what. So what you need to do is completely rebrand yourself from that old listing. So we take listings all the time, other companies that don't sell them. Redo photos. I mean, a lot of times those ones that don't sell, they maybe didn't have professional photos. We can add those for them. Likely a price adjustment. What's tough is, like I said, there's no secrets. So people know a house was listed before and didn't sell. And there's a time frame, it kind of, if you look at that graph, where people go from being excited about a property to, okay, what's wrong with it? So we just got to keep that in mind and really market the heck out of it.
Yeah.
How do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, the easiest way is by myself, 218-850-2004. Also have a personal website, fmtothelakes.com or fargotothelakes.com. Either way will get you there.
All right. Thank you so much for visiting with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Coming up on today's show, finding the perfect pair of jeans.